Hi folks, so today I have Luke with me. Now Luke is in isolation by himself. More importantly to know about Luke, he is a business owner. He is in the graphic world, so he's a digital marketer. And more importantly, he has only recently gone into isolation by himself because I believe your other half moved back home for a couple of weeks ago. So Luke, how are you getting on at the moment, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. It was hard trying to get into a routine, a COVID-19 routine, and swapping over from how I was before, working from home, because I normally once a week would work from home, so I find it quite effective. And it was quite strange going from being quite effective for my one day at home to being sort of not very effective for 5 days at home. I normally work in the evenings, and then I get a bit done there and sort of chip away and make sure sort of I'm starting the day with a clean slate, and it kind of just all merged into one.
Yeah. So, I mean, at the moment, work-wise, so we'll start working and we'll move over to other bits and bobs at the moment. What's that like for you at the moment? Are clients still needing you to work and do things for them? Are you having to kind of go out and prospect? Are you busy? What's that world like at the moment?
So we've got a couple of industries that we have. We work mainly on retainers and project based. So we work with we have retained marketing contracts with our clients, and then we have sort of extra projects on top of that. So it'd be like the website design and the graphic design, that kind of stuff. But for the retained stuff, we don't actually have a pause in our contract, but because of obviously what's happened, we've allowed people to pause.
Of course, yeah.
But you don't ever expect, or don't ever really plan. Well, we plan to last 6 months if the bottom falls out of marketing. I mean, I can't imagine it happening, but then something like this has happened. I'd say 9 out of 10 of our retainers have paused.
Yeah.
So we've got one client that's luckily a cleaning company, and they've now died down, but they also have security. So they've kind of, where the cleaning stuff went mental, they got they were dealing with that, and then they're now doing the sort of the security side of the empty buildings.
Yeah.
They're fine, but we get trickles of project based stuff where people are at home and doing things. But I think the first three, the way in my head I was hoping it would go would be that obviously you get the initial panic and everyone sort of stops everything. Then as they sort of acclimatise to it and sort of try and work out their new norm, that they're going to realise that actually those that make it through this sort of this situation that we're in, as extreme as it is, that those that make it through will be the ones that sort of prosper at the end. Not that I think there's going to be an early, it'll be a quick turnaround, but so we're dealing with small bits like that. But I was hoping that more would be of that mindset, like we are. So I think work-wise coming in, it's okay. It's not dead in the water. It's enough to keep us going, and we had reserves to make sure we were okay. But it's frustrating. I've literally just taken on 2 new people just before it all happened, so they're all signed up, but they didn't get cut. They're not covered by furlough. So I've got them still working.
I'm pretty sure are they quite understanding of the situation and the fact that they haven't been made redundant. They must be quite happy for, because obviously that is something that you can consider, as well as I think there's relaxed measures on giving people unpaid leave, according to Richard Branson anyway. I think definitely for my lot as well. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 trainers at the moment that aren't covered either, that I'm not paying full wages to. Luckily, through the way that their employment works, they contract me, so I can dictate what hours I want. But I've been as kind as I can be with the current situation of having literally no income and only outgoing. I think people are more understanding at the moment, and I definitely know my lot have been understanding when it's come to having a pay cut for these times anyway. But like I say, I'm in a more relaxed environment where I could just turn around and say, well, I'm stopping everything because you're contracted, which I wouldn't do, but I could easily do. They're not they're not on my books as PAYE, put it that way.
I think it's difficult to find that balance, isn't it? Because certainly for the 13 years that I've been in business, and you get it in all walks of life, but I find that the kindnesses that you do are easily forgotten.
Yeah.
Very quickly. It's happened in businesses a few businesses of the good businesses that we deal with, where they don't forget. They've had the same thing, and you just find that I think it's sometimes both customers and clients forget that the little bits that you do all add up. If you're doing, so we've got 10 retainers. If we're doing a little hour for each of those, that's each week. That's a day gone with someone.
Yeah.
There's a little bit extras and things like that. Or if you're on the phone answering questions, I've found that some clients that will then try and beat you down on price, and you're just like, well, I've helped you out all those other times, you've been really pleased with it. And so I hope that people's mindset changes a little bit and that they're appreciative of it. But I've found in the past, I've been disappointed in the past with it.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I've had a few. Well, I have been surprised as well. Where we've done some fantastic little community projects and stuff, and people that really have just come out of nowhere and gone all in. Really helped out. Especially we've done charity stuff in the past, or people that have been quite quiet in the background. Especially what I do, I meet a lot of people, and then unbeknown to me, 8 people have joined over the past couple of weeks, and what I didn't know is this one guy that's been quiet, has said nothing, didn't want any adulation, has been getting all of his mates to join the gym, but hasn't even told me, whereas we reward people for doing that, and where they don't tell me, I feel really bad, because I think, well, you shouldn't be paying any membership for the next 8 months, mate. Because you've helped me out so much. So I mean, moving out of this, so predictions moving forward and stuff, what kind of things, like as a marketer as well, I mean, there's going to be so much stuff that must be changing in your world. Would you say, is there a certain platform you're going to start maybe pushing yourself towards? Is there anything you've decided to upskill yourself on at the moment? What's your situation with that?
Well, for me, I've been enjoying helping other businesses. Just before this happened, I was helping a few businesses sort of at the board level or set up board, sort of board meetings, regular board meetings, business plans, that kind of stuff. Bit of crisis management. So I think I think whenever you're in a crisis, the initial reaction is just to pause and stop everything.
Yeah.
Which is probably one of the worst things you can do with regards to your marketing, because you think, oh, it's an expense. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of people do the marketing wrong. They hear it's working for someone else. So, for instance, social media is working for someone else.
Yeah. We rely heavily on social media, massively.
Yeah, and you would do. But for the search engine optimization side of things, it would be be a waste of money at the moment for you guys, because no one's going to be searching for gym memberships. They may be searching for gym tips and things like that, but most people use social media for that now.
Yeah, YouTube. Yeah.
So it's about finding the right thing for the right person, and I think that's where a lot of people will pause or stop it all completely. And then when it comes to the end of, when things start to get back to whatever the new norm is, then they're going to think, oh, we've got to get everything started again, and it is hard work getting the marketing sort of engine going, making sure you've got email lists.
You got to build
So
that hype as well, haven't you? You can't just go, hi, buy my stuff, and people go, who's this guy?
Yeah, the time of that has long gone, where you can sort of just go buy my stuff. People want you to be holding their hand during the buying process. They want to be educated. They want to do their own research. I think those that look after their customers and those that look after and use this time we use a CRM system called HubSpot, and we've used it for 3 or 4 years, and they're now doing sort of a free version of it, which we're going to send out an email this week to our clients and just say, look, we'll set it up for you for nothing. We'll give you sort of a glance.
I've got HubSpot. But yeah, I think I'll tell you one thing, if you could ever do it, is have a little bit of an idiot's guide tutorial to it, because you've got to be very techie for it. You've got to go in, find little drop downs and stuff. I'm so bad on a computer, honestly. If you could do some little kind of video, I think it would go mental, because I'm so bad on HubSpot. I now just look for the email of HubSpot that will pop up, and then I'll go through my emails and look for the email. I'm that backwards, as opposed to having this one place where I can find everything, which is what it's meant to be, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great, it like combines your Hootsuite, your MailChimp, your Google Analytics, as well as doing lots of other stuff. So it's a really good bit of kit. We've got, I think, 4 of our retainers are on it, and they love it. There is a bit of a learning curve to it, because it's one of those things, because it's been going, it's now sort of 5 or 6 years old. It's got lots of extra features in it, because all those that are using it want extra features. That's something.
It's so good. I'm just so bad. I'm so bad. Yeah.
But yeah, so I think as far as upskilling goes, I was doing a mediation course just beforehand that I literally got cancelled halfway through. So I've just been sort of doing the study side of that. As far as work goes, and then just doing the training. HubSpot provides a lot of training, so just basically going through that. We're using a couple of extra new platforms and stuff, and trialing some out. Where we switched to, luckily with what we did, we just immediately, as soon as this kind of started kicking off over here, I just said everyone work from home. There's no.
Yeah.
But it is its own challenge. Even with what we do, it's. I had 2 new starters, so getting them used to how I work and how I'd like them to work over, we use sort of Skype, and over sort of short phone calls, it's very difficult for them to understand how I would like things to be done, and also to get feedback from them on how they think things should be done, so we can evolve and sort of move more before improve our delivery of things, because obviously they're experts in their field. I'm coming from a business perspective and an overall perspective, but they're experts within their field, and also so about getting that rapport as well with people that work for you. I find, especially from my experience from other businesses and from my own businesses, that the hiring of people is the most difficult part of a business. And getting the right people, and getting the people that not only work well with you, but also have the same drive. You never get someone with the same drive because it's your own business, but with the same mentality, and they have a drive to something. I find it's quite difficult. So understanding if they have that, you normally get that out of them in the first month, and I've not had that opportunity to do that. So we're using Monday as a sort of a project management system.
What Monday? The app Monday.
Yeah, Monday.com. Yeah.
I was going to say, I wanted to talk to you, or find out what you're using to systemize stuff, and I know that HubSpot has got a lot of background systems where you can really help your staff, especially being tech-based people who understand it. I mean, you can imagine we tried to put the systems of HubSpot in with a bunch of hairy-ass personal trainers that could just about switch on a calculator, bless them. And then you got me, the leader, that is so bad. It didn't work. Bless the guy. I don't know if you know Randall. Fantastic guy.
Lovely guy. I've only had I had a brief conversation with him. We went for coffee once, so he's a really good guy.
But he's really, he works for a company now, but he just set it all up for me as a bit of like a bit of a favour that he did for cheap for me, which is just because he was available. And there was a couple of projects he wanted to work with me on while he was in between starting his new job and had some time after his old one, which I was quite spoilt for, to be honest, because he was pretty good at what he did, and he just had loads of enthusiasm and just wanted to do it all for, oh, okay, cool, don't worry about it, I'll get that set up for you. The problem was, I think I needed to be spoon-fed a lot of the stuff, and I had no idea what was going on. So that kind of was that. Only the HubSpot was wasted on me for now until I learn how to. In fact, I've got time to learn now. Monday.com. What's that like?
It's something we're just trying. We're using Pro Workflow, but to be honest, it was too rigid. I think the issue the issue I've had is that I've wanted something that works fantastically from the start, and I've been spoiled with HubSpot, which does everything for my marketing, so tracking systems and things, that making sure things are being done that need to be done. I can just click 3 buttons and I can go into any one of my clients' portals and see an overview of what's going on, see that the blog posts have gone out, I can see that the social media posts have gone out, I can see which ones are doing well, which ones aren't, I can see how many leads they've generated, I can see about their AdWords, I can see everything. Whereas with the projects, we didn't really have that. Now, when you're in an office and there's sort of 5 of you around a desk, it's easy because you can just go, oh, how are you getting on with that? And we worked from an Excel spreadsheet. So we switched over to Pro Workflow a little while ago, and I wasn't really happy with that. It wasn't working how I wanted it to work. So now we're trying out Monday. So it's out. We've gone through that, set it up over the last 2 weeks, and we're going to give it a sort of use it sort of going forward and give it a test and see if it works. Ideally, I'd like to build our own one. But it's a big project, and at the moment we've got we had our best 2 months just before all this happened, so we've got we've got projects that we're finishing off from that. But yeah, it's that's how we kind of systemize things to make sure.
One of the things we're trying to massively systemize here is new leads. So we'll have the problem with what we have at the gym, and anyone from retail, leisure, hospitality, anyone that has this will just have people that just wander in and want someone there ready and no one else in the way. So the way things normally work in the real world is that people book stuff in, don't they? They'll phone up, say, oh, can I come down at 1 o'clock? And then if you were to turn up and no one was ready and you'd be quite nauseated and you'd get annoyed with that. But that's the logical world. The real world is that someone will just wander in off the street at, I don't know, midday, 2:30 or something like that. And unless someone is there, bang, ready to do everything they want to go through. I want to go through the membership, Unless someone is there to take down all their information and go through it, they either leave or they get the they get a sour taste in the mouth, or they get lost in translation, where whoever's on reception will just quickly jot down their information, show them around the gym, and they're gone. So the kind of thing that we're looking for, and I don't know whether other people out there in the same position, is how to capture that data and then have a system where it's followed up, which isn't clunky like an Excel spreadsheet, just loads of pieces of paper. At the moment, we have a clipboard with lots of different sections in it where it says name, number, email address, follow up, result of that follow up. So how they were followed up, what responders they were put into, because then we'll say to them, oh, I'll tell you what, we'll send you a 3-day pass, which then puts them into an auto-responsive. What we want, and I don't know whether it exists, and HubSpot was meant to be the thing that worked for us, is where we can manually put them in, but then they go to something that is quite easy to look at, which isn't an Excel spreadsheet. So, I mean, that is what I'm looking for. I don't know whether that exists or whether I'm just not using HubSpot right, probably.
So you can use that in HubSpot does that. It's the way we've there was another company, the Wedding Guide, and we did something similar. So basically, the idea is that it takes bride's information, and then they get entered into a competition. But we'll then send them information about the services that they're after. So we segment the list really sort of strictly. So say, for instance, if they're still looking for caterers, we'll say, right, to our caterers, we'll send you out. They'll come to us and say, look, we want to push for our catering. Can we send an email? So we then send an email on their behalf to our brides list. And we had the same thing because we used to do events. So we used to basically just have an iPad, like an old iPad, because all they're doing is filling out a form. Get them to fill out a form. So that's saving by you not having to sit there and watching them. It also then saves the data entry afterwards for you. I mean, we were getting 500 sign-ups at some events.
Oh, mate, that's amazing, yeah.
And but if you think on paper, you've then got to go back to the office and it's going to take you a week to input all that stuff.
Yeah.
So if you have a couple of old iPads that you can pick up on the cheap, just have those at the front desk. The Generation 2s will be fine for what you want. Also,
I've got a couple knocking around.
Yeah, so you just have those, and then the person on reception can hand that over. They'll then go through that. My advice would then probably be to have a video after that they can then look through. So if they're in a rush, they can just, instead of having to walk around, they can have a video that you can do yourself, as in just speaking to them, chatting to them about what the gym's like, blah blah blah, what you kind of specialise in, if they're maybe looking for a PT or if they're looking for a class to go to. You can just run through that on a video on that iPad, which you can just only allow to go to those 2 pages. And then if someone's there, they can show them around. If not, you can then put them onto a workflow where they just basically, as you said, if they haven't committed and signed up, you can then go, right, okay, I will send them this after 5 days, this after a couple more days. Right, okay, then we'll put them on if they take any actions from those emails, we can then put them in a list for your sales team, or you can then just get an alert for your sales team to give them a call.
Yeah, that's amazing. So we struggled with the dashboard, but the alert system would be loads better. Let's move back to you anyway. We've had a good old natter about work. But I mean, right now, like I say, it's an historical time, and people got to look for information about what this was like. For you, motivation. You have to be motivated for what you do. If not, you just wouldn't get out of bed. So, what is your driver at the moment? What's getting your juices going? What's taking your mind away from this at the moment?
So, as you said, though, if you run your own business and you don't have the mindset where you just have to, you see a problem, you've got to solve it, until you find that solution, you've just got to keep hitting your head against that brick wall and keep going until you go through the wall, or you work your way around it or over it.
Yeah.
So that's in the past when I've had we've all gone through crap times, run businesses. It's never a bed of roses. So I think it's much you kind of get used to that mindset of, you just get up, you try and you do the things that you know you should be doing that should bring in things. As far as me, sort of on a personal level, I play a lot of football, and I find that's normally my switch off. It's my release. It's something I've done for years, and it's something I've always kept going. So I'll play Saturdays and Sundays, it's my exercise. So if I have a lazy week, I know that I'm still playing football Saturday, Sunday, and I'm training during the week. So I'm doing 3 bits of exercise, which isn't enough to keep me ticking over. And so having that sort of wrenched out from my routine, and as a mental state, it's just nice because you just switch off when you're playing.
Absolutely.
I don't have to worry, even if I'm having the worst week in the world. If I'm playing football for that hour and a half, or for that, well, when you walk into the change room with all the guys and you're chatting and you're warming up, and for that little bit afterwards, you're not worried about anything else apart from making that tackle, passing that ball, doing this, doing that. And so that's been on a physical side. That's been tough. But I've signed up to do doing a PT course and a nutrition course,
Nice.
just to learn around the subject. I find it's easier when I'm doing stuff. I like to learn.
So you're actually learning it. You're actually learning.
Yeah.
It. Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
So I've done. Well, I jumped to Unit 6 because that was producing a business plan, and I like doing those. So I did that one first. But I'm up to Unit 3 out of the 6 in total on the PTA. On a mental level, that's kept me studying something else. So I think it's always good to be, although it's great to keep reading. There's so much stuff about marketing, and you can keep learning to become an expert in all these different areas, because there is so many different areas, and it's ever changing. I think it's always nice to be studying something separate, which is what the mediation was going to be. It was going to be sort of an extra thing on the side that then I started sort of using a bit more. I'm lucky enough that I've turned my garage into a bit of a gym. It then became a garage again, but I emptied it out and cleared that out. So I've got a couple of little bits of kit that I can use.
That's great.
I'm playing around with a Instagram account on a personal. We work with, because of the people we work with is all business, B2B. Instagram's good for brand awareness, but I'm now sort of just trialing it out for myself on sort of the B2C side of things, so just seeing what it's like to grow a personal account rather than a corporate account. But yeah, the unfortunate thing is that I like watching series and films anyway, so unless something new comes out, I can't sit there and think, I'll just I'll watch an episode an evening of something, because I've seen most of it.
Completed it.
Yeah.
Well, we've recently got the Disney Plus, which has been a bit of a godsend for the kids. And
yeah.
I remember instantly when I got it, first thing I did, because I'm a big fan of Disney stuff, scrolling through, and I thought, the dashboard, there's not a lot on here, and a bit like Netflix, you have to go hunting.
Yeah.
There's literally everything.
Yeah, no, it's nuts, isn't it? Yeah.
Like, actually everything. I thought they'd drip feed it, and they're like, nah, Disney, have it.
Yeah.
Everything. For 50 quid. For 50 quid for the year. Well, we've done it. We had Mary Poppins on the other day, and then I think it was, what was it that they like now? Narnia stuff. Is that Disney? It was on. Well, that might have been Netflix. It's now all merged into one. I don't even know what's going on. But at the moment, we do have. We're absolutely spoilt with the amount of entertainment we have around us, compared to 30 years ago, 30 years ago, it was 4 channels, and that was it.
Yeah.
And none of them worked very well, and the content was rubbish.
Yeah, I mean, you'd be stuck with your daytime TV, wouldn't you? Which would drive you nuts. And imagine trying to keep the kids entertained with the daytime.
Oh, no. There's a bat and ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just been horrendous. But so I mean, we are spoiled in that respect. So I mean, when it comes over to the stuff that you're learning, what inspired that? I mean, is it just you just wanted a better understanding of what was going on?
Yeah, I normally, when I do something, I enjoy the reading around the subject and things like that. Being a bit of a nerd, I like reading around the subject. And I just thought, I'm going to be reading and researching, because you know full well that there's so many myths and misconceptions out there in the getting yourself in shape, if you want to build muscle, if you want to lose weight, if you want to build fitness. There's so many. You got men's health. I'd read that one month, and it would say something, and then the next month it would say the complete opposite. Well, you're telling me to do something this month, and the next month you're telling me that it's a bad thing, and I've added it to my routine.
Well, they used to do it on purpose because people go, oh, wait a minute, I've been doing it wrong. And then pick up,
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, it's absolutely insane. Yeah. And there was a guy that made a collage of all the contradicting front covers of Men's Health. It's on,
really?
Yeah, I got done with the clickbait at one point. Where you can't sleep, you start off clicking stuff at about 8 o'clock at night, and suddenly it's 4 o'clock in the morning, and you're looking at Taylor Swift's best ball gowns. That's pretty much my evening for that night. But yeah, the Men's Health one was actually quite shocking how close they were as well. Like if it was like 98 and 2004, okay, I get it.
You get it, yeah. I mean, things change and people's understanding, you get that. But it
was March and September, same year. So it's a few months apart or something like that, which is crazy. Some of it was like the following week. Okay, so I mean, moving over to we're going to be going into a bit of a wrap now. What advice are you kind of giving yourself? So if you were to give yourself advice for you starting out right now, knowing what you now know, because we're in week 4 now, aren't we?
Yeah.
What would you be telling yourself to do?
Get a routine. Get a nice, strict routine. And I mean, all the business would say, just get all the important stuff done in the morning. The things that are weighing on your mind, the things that are really important to your business, get done in the morning. Get up, same time. So my alarm's set for 7. I get up, a bit more of a night out than an early bird. I'll get up. First thing I'll do is, once I've sorted myself out, is walk the dog. So I've got a bit of exercise out, and then I'll come back and I'll do once I've had breakfast, just literally do the most important thing that I need to get done that day.
Yeah.
Make sure that's done and out of the way, and then just sort of trickling down your sort of hierarchy of lists. And don't beat yourself up if you fancy a break. If you're stuck in a hole, don't just stay there. Go out, go do something else. Take breaks from sitting in your home office or wherever you're doing it. I think that's important, and make sure you're eating well. I mean, it does make a difference if you're sitting there because you're bored eating chocolate and another thing. So it's getting attacked by Siri there. Got when I don't know about other people, but when I eat well, I feel so much better, and I've got more energy. I'm doing more, and also just the little workouts and stuff. They do help. So I'll make sure that I just do something in the gym once a day. I don't beat myself if it's only sort of for 10-15 minutes. Don't beat yourself up about it. I think at the start I was kind of beating myself up about it. If I fell off the routine, it would be, but you just then start again tomorrow. It's not the end of the world. I
was neurotic, man. I definitely feel that. I was so conscious of the fact I wasn't working like I normally work, and I think you're so right with give yourself a bit of a break. No one's written a plan for this. You have to write your own rules, and I love the routine has helped me massively to the point of where I'm seeing my kids all day and I'm working all day, and then I get to see my wife in the evening and have some time with her. So I love that, the routine side of things as well. Yeah, massively.
It just keeps you ticking along because it slices up the day for you. It's and I'd probably say as well, just organise. I feel better, although I'm quite happy on I've got my dog here, and it's not any issue. I don't mind my own space. I'm not someone that needs to be having someone constantly to chat to. Making sure you are every few days, making sure if you are on your own, you've got a Skype call with someone, or you've got a Zoom call with someone. Obviously, most people, I get on very well with my family, so I'm speaking to them virtually every day. But having sort of, on Saturday night we had a poker game. Now I'm rubbish at poker, and a lot of us were, but it was just nice to have something going on while we're all chatting away to each other and catching up, and it does help. So even if you are someone that, like me, don't mind being on your own, it's not the end of the world. Having those bits does it sort of, again, blocked out is important.
Yeah, I love that, mate. So I think we're probably going to round off with that, to be honest. I can definitely relate to pretty much everything you've said. But more importantly, the having time for yourself, looking after yourself, and just be kind to yourself. I think the big thing at the moment, just before we went into lockdown, was the Be Kind campaign. I think people need to definitely focus on being kinder to themselves now, because we are being more community-based. We are celebrating the forgotten people, if you like, the people that actually keep the world going when everything else stops. And the world's going to be different after this. So, guys, we are going to wrap that up. So, first of all, Luke, thank you so much for coming on. The take-homes from this for me are just be kind to yourself. You know, give yourself a break. Focus on your health, because then, you know, your wealth will follow after that. And make time for loved ones as well. Guys, if you do want to get in contact with Luke, there will be information of how to speak to him and his company in the show notes. So if you either are watching this on YouTube, if you just look down, there will be links to contact him, Luke, and his company, as well as if you are listening to this on the podcast, you can also just look below. If anything that we've spoken about has resonated with you and you feel like it could help other people, please press that share button and get these little shows out there so we can help as many people. And if you would like to be involved and come on the show, please do get in contact either via comments below, or you can visit our website, which is abc-gym.com. So a.b.c-gym.com. So, Luke, thanks so much, mate. And stay on. I'll carry on chatting to you for a bit. All I'm going to do is press the stop recording for everyone else. So, see you later, guys. Stay safe.